Well, folks, welcome to this week's A Sportsman's Life. Look who Mr. Jeff and I have with us. Mr. Whitetail is going to be has been part of our show for a few weeks. Larry is going to impart some knowledge each week and some fun.
It's all fun.
It is all fun, and I am truly honored to be with you guys. I'll tell you what, Luke and I have been doing radio for a while. Almost 11 years, every Saturday morning or throughout the week as well too, and I've had the opportunity to spend time around Jeff through Luke, and I am truly honored to be part of this. And really what my kind of part that I kind of see is kind of a Q&A kind of thing, where we'll talk about different hunting tips, learning about optics, learning about hunting gear, learning about rifles, all those kind of things. Just pure simple information that you may already know, but you know, there are a lot of people getting into the outdoors, so we're going to try to take it very basically and bring it forward.
Excellent. And folks, if you think running with these two rascals is not fun, this is really serious hard work, but we're going to jump into our show, so stay with us every week. Larry's going to be here, Jeff's always with us. We're going to have a great time, and we want you to be right here every week with us.
Right there is one of the main reasons why we're getting ready to put a food plot in. We have a full rain gauge, so this has been it's been 2 weeks since I've been out here, so we've had plenty of rain within the last 2 weeks. Hello folks, and welcome to another episode of A Sportsman's Life. We're out here, we're putting in a food plot. So folks, we're getting ready for the upcoming deer season. One of the best things you can do if you own some property, or lease some property, is to put in a food plot. We've got triticale and Austrian winter pea we're going to put in today. So I've got the land tilled here. The soil tests are good, so there was no need to put any lime down or anything to bring the pH up. So we're looking good here. Everything is ready to go. I'm going to drop some seed here, then we're going to bring in the little harrow and we're going to go over it one more time, cover the seed up, and within a few weeks we should have some growth here. So we're seeing a real nice buck here. I'll show you a picture of a buck we've got right here at the food plot. Of course, he's not eating anything in the food plot. The only reason he's here is right in front of me is a salt lick. He's been coming to this salt lick quite regularly, so we're going to leave this salt lick right here. We've got a blind right behind us. We've got a ladder stand within 25 or 30 yards of right where I'm standing. So this is a small quarter-acre food plot. We put these in every year, folks. This stuff's great. I've got another one that's about 1/3 of an acre, and then I've got one down a ways that is just a little kind of a cleared area, if you will. We put some down in there and have a bow stand set up. So out here working. The important tip is to hydrate. Okay, so we've got our spreader. This is a little power drive spreader. Drop the seed in there and we just walk around and drop it. So we're gonna mix, kind of intermix both of these seeds, the triticale and the Austrian winter pea, and we're gonna get that spread out over here. So good stuff to come. We're gonna hopefully see some nice deer this fall. So we're the second week into September. So we wanna get this food plot in. We're in the mornings when you get up, there's a lot of dew on the ground. The rain gauge I just showed you there was full, so we've had some rain. The soil is real good right now and it's ready for seed. So we're going to get this seed dropped in here, and folks, this is stuff you need to do. You want to bring big deer in, this is how you do it. The does will come in and feed on this during the rut. They'll bring those big bucks right in here with it as well. So stay tuned. We're gonna get this going, and I'll be back. Okay folks, so what we're planning today is Austrian winter pea. Take a look at that. Kind of like little balls. And then there's the triticale right there. Now the thing you're gonna notice is the size difference in both of these. So you don't want to spread them together. You don't want to mix the seed and try to spread them, because these will come out much quicker. They'll need a larger slot to come out of the spreader than these will. So we're going to do them separately. We're going to put down the Austrian winter pea, and then we're going to put down the triticale, and they'll complement each other. The Austrian winter pea will be able to grow nicely right underneath the triticale. The triticale will have a little more leafiness to it, and it'll help protect the Austrian winter pea coming up. So we want to get these in the ground, and I'm going to get my spreader out and get going. We're going to start with the Austrian winter pea, and we'll move on to the triticale. So here we go. Well, that about wraps up our seeding. We've got all our seed down, and now all we got to do is come back with the harrow, and we're going to turn this soil and cover the seed we just dropped. So little food plots like this, as you can see, I got a ladder stand off in the distance there, and just these little food plots like this off the beaten path, someplace you have cleared, or you can get in there and disc it up a little bit and get your soil conditions right and plant in here. These are fantastic places to shoot a nice deer, so it's worth the effort. It's a little warm out here today, but you know, we're having fun. We're making a weekend of it, and stay tuned. We're going to get the harrow out. We'll show you how that works, and then we'll wrap up our food plot weekend. Well, the final step is harrowing. As you can see here, we've got the harrow on the back of the tractor, and we're just kind of running over, burying that seed, and we are going to be done. So we've got 2 of the 3 food plots done. A little bit of rain, and this stuff will come up, and it's going to be looking forward to a good year out here. So you can also drop like the throw and go kind of seeds just in an area back off in the woods, where maybe someplace where you have a stand set up or something, and you know, that's good stuff just to have just little food plots growing in and around the areas that you hunt. So obviously this is a pretty good sized one, and again, we've been seeing some pretty nice deer come out on this food plot in years past, and I fully expect this year is going to be another good year. Stay tuned folks, we'll be right back. More of A Sportsman's Life coming up.
Folks, as an old outdoors writer, I have used lots of products. Smoking Tex electric smokers, the best smokers that you can find. This is Diz and this is Scott, my buddies. Diz, tell them how they can learn more about Smoking Tex.
Yeah, obviously the #1 source of information is going to be our website. It's got hundreds of recipes, it's got helpful guides, it's got all of our models and our accessories listed there. Of course, we have a phone number, 888-922-1511, and we'll actually answer our own phones.
That's true. And Diz, the main thing, the easy way, smokingtex.com. You can learn all about it.
Correct. And of course, we're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So take a look at us whenever you can, and whatever social media you'd like, and we look forward to working with you.
Well, good morning, folks. It's your old buddy Luke Clayton. It's early morning out in the woods behind my house here at my little camp where I do a lot of filming. It's time for an outdoor cooking segment for us. We haven't done this in a while. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to cook breakfast. It's about 7:30 in the morning at camp with a little unit called it's a Brio. You can go online to brio.com. been using this thing for a while, Brio.com, but it's called the Outpost. And it's a grill just right for, you know, outdoor cooking. You can take this thing anywhere. And I'll show you how it works. It has a little stake right here that you drive in the ground with actually the rod that's going to wind up holding your grill up, like a T-post driver, if you will. That's the way you do it. Is tap it in the ground. We're going to do this in just a minute so you can see how it works. But basically, your grill, once we get it in the ground, your grill was set right on here, and it's portable. You can build you a fire, campfire underneath this, and cook your breakfast. So let's set this thing up in the ground. And I'll go ahead and start a fire, get it going, and we'll cook breakfast. Okay, folks, I've got a little newspaper and kindling wood to make our fire. So our goal is to have our grill, of course, right over the fire. This thing pivots, this outpost, you know. So first off, let's put this in the ground, this stake, and these little flanges hold the stake in the ground. So let's put it about right here. And again, we'll use this like a T-post driver. So it's in the ground really good. Now then, let's turn it over and put this piece down in the slot in the ground here. And there's a little locking device there. And it becomes very, very steady. Then we will put our grill, and as you see, there's a little lock down here, a little wing nut, if you will. Let's turn that over. I tell you, let's raise it up and get our fire going. So the next thing we will do is start our campfire and then get our fire going, and we're going to make breakfast. How about that? So, my friends, it is now time to start a campfire. I'm going to impress you with my fire starting skills. I could just use a match, but it wouldn't be near as cool as our flint and steel. So let's see if we can get this paper going with an old flint and steel. See how that works? Put that down in there. Look out, let's get her going now. That should be just about right for our campfire to get that going. So let's let this burn down, and then we will start our breakfast. What do you say? Well, folks, I wish you could be right here with me, because I think we're gonna have a pretty good breakfast. An old Mike Ford recipe. Mike's a old NFL quarterback, star quarterback for SMU back in the 80s, I think. This is a Mike Ford special right here. So Mike, this is for you, buddy. We've got a baked potato, actually, that's in the skillet. We baked it last night or night before. We just smashed it up, and we're chopping some onion up in here now. Kind of sauteing some onion and potato, right? Nothing to this deal. And these potatoes are, man, I'm liking this little Outpost grill. Awesome. Anyway, potatoes are all kind of mashed up. I mashed up a big bacon potato in there. And now we're going to have a couple of eggs in here. Let's just do that right now. Nothing to it. One. And one more egg. Okay. Now then, I say we scramble this up. I've already put salt and pepper in the potatoes, so how about this little grill, folks? I mean, you know, you can take this thing anywhere. Even did it the old school with a flint and steel, started the fire. Of course, I had some matches, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to maybe impress you folks a little bit with that flint and steel. Doesn't take long. You know what I forgot is a little jalapeno. Dadgummit. Oh well, I may chip some up and put it in there anyway. Love jalapeno. See how those eggs are cooking up good? Now, if you have some homemade venison sausage or whatever. You could dice that up in there too, but this is going to be breakfast this morning right here. Who knows, I may cut up a little piece of smoked sausage and heat it up with this a little bit. But this is really what I wanted to show you. This little Brio grill, folks, is the catch me out. What do you think? Check them out online. I've just had this one a week or so and, you know, just started cooking with it, but I think it's really cool. Okay, let's take a commercial break now, and we'll be right back with you in a little bit. Well, folks, you know, a couple of years ago, Texas made it legal to hunt with air rifles, big bore air rifles. Now, me and my buddy, Mr. Wysoon here, Larry has got an air rifle that shoots arrows.
Also known as bolts, I have learned.
Bolts. Bolts are arrows, and this is the Seneca Dragon Claw, 50 caliber. It also shoots bullets.
It does. I prefer to shoot the arrows because it's a little bit different compared to everything that I've done in the past. I used to tease people, you ever going to shoot a bow again? I said, yeah, as soon as I can shoot it out of a gun. Well, guess what? Now I can shoot a broadhead bolt out of an air gun with
That's
this
right.
particular model.
And we're out here hog hunting on our buddy Jeff Rice's Buck and Bass Ranch. Got a broadhead on there. Cape buffalo have been killed with this rig.
Right. Keith Warren is taking Cape buffalo, and don't tell him what else he's taking in Africa. So it's a great tool. It's a new way of hunting as far as I'm concerned, and I'm anxious to try it this year.
And Larry, that's part of it. It was new to me when I first started shooting air guns about 9 years, big bore air guns, PCP guns. It was brand new, and that was part of the allure to me. It was something new, and I got to learn about it. Now, so Larry has the arrow hunting with the bolt or the arrow covered with the Seneca Dragon Claw. Great setup. Now, if you want to use, now this is what I hunt with. This is Air Force Air Guns Texan. Now, this is the carbine model. They make a longer barreled model that gets a little more velocity, but I've killed a bunch of critters, hogs, and I killed a nice buck with this rig last year. So Air Force Air Guns Texan, they make, this is 45 caliber. They make a 50 caliber, which I haven't shot yet, but this will generate over 500 foot-pounds of energy. So bullets, Mr. Wysoon's got his arrows. You think, well, what kind of bullets? You'd think, well, it's an air gun, maybe a little light bullet. These are Swage bullets here, and Nielsen Specialty Ammo makes them. Now, you probably can't see them this close, but they're a very well-made, well-designed bullet as far as for air guns, strictly. So, Larry, I think we maybe give the folks a good primer in air gunology.
It is. It's a new way of hunting, legal now in Texas. Bows, this one can't be used during the archery season, but it can be used with an arrow during the regular hunting season. So just something new to play with and a new kind of adventure. And if you haven't tried it yet, let me suggest that you do. I think you'll be truly impressed.
I think so, Larry. And for folks that, well, where do I get all this stuff? Pyramid Air is the largest air gun supply company in the world. Just go to Pyramid Air. They have people there that you can actually call if you're going to have some questions. If you don't know someone that's already shooting these big bores, well, Pyramid Air has some folks that can help you out. So hopefully this little tutorial with Mr. Wysoon and myself, hopefully it'll help you get started in something that's fun to do.
Gary, you've been hunting predators for several years.
Several years.
Finally, after the urging of your wife and I know a bunch of other people too, you've written a book and it's just come out. Tell me a little bit about the title, how you came up with the title, and then we'll get to talk about maybe the contents and then how people, where can they find the book?
Well, anytime you start a project like this, I guess, I wasn't worried about the title so much, and then that was kind of a Mark, McDonald was the publisher, and he said, well, we've kind of got all these articles, we've got all these photographs, but what are you going to call this book?
What are you going to call it?
And, I ran a few, ideas by him, and they thought, that title was too long or whatever. And anyway, so I thought back to the days in the early 2000s when we did a video series, a how-to video
I remember
series
it well.
with Mossy Oak. We did one each year, and I think you were in some of those shots because a lot of it we shot on some of those hunts that we did in South Texas.
With Winchester ammo.
With Winchester.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's kind of where it started. And we did a series, like I say, we did one each year for 5 years. And we came up with actually, I think one of the girls there, Ronnie Strickland's daughter,
Oh, really?
Lauren,
Yeah.
is the one that came up with the idea eyes front. And then because that describes, the predator, just
does.
like, and also proves that when God created us, we're predators, because predators, one of the characteristics of a predator is that their eyes are set in the front of their skull. So that, by system of triangulation, that helps them to judge distance so that they can catch their game, their prey. And so we came up with that as the title, and I love it. Of course, I'm a simple guy, and I like simple titles, and what's easier than that than eyes front?
You're right, it is. But and the cover photo, and I love the size of the book, and I think our old friend Mark had something to do with the size of it. And the cover is just, you just gravitate to it. I mean, you can put it out. I bet you could put 40 books out there of all different covers, and have somebody walk in and they go like that. Just about cat's looking at you.
This photograph was taken by a friend by the name of Pecos Hagler, and he's a rancher, but he's got into the photography, especially wildlife stuff, and he's doing great work. And he let us use this photo, and
Fabulous photo.
I agree with you. I think a cover sells a lot of books, and this picture of the cat locked in says everything about a predator.
It does.
And of course, this cat was coming to a call.
Absolutely.
In fact, Pecos said this particular cat swam across an arm of a stock tank to get to him. He said,
To get to the call.
because I have other photos of this same cat, and he's wet.
I'll be darned.
But that's
is-
the shot we're using. And I think another thing that's kind of interesting about this book is instead of being laid out vertically, it's laid out horizontally. And that's to take advantage of some of the photos that are in it.
Absolutely. And the photography is out of this world. There's some photos in there of coyotes that I'm not going to give you. You've got to buy the book to see the photos, but I don't think there have ever been photos of coyotes in that situation that I know that I've ever seen.
I have not either.
No.
I have not either. And I've been calling for a long time, but I only saw it that one time,
Right.
where we're able to capture a series of coyotes' behavior like we did in this one.
And it's a compilation of a lot of hunting experience, real world hunting experience. A few stories here and there that really kind of, to me, are out of this world good, because you are an excellent storyteller. And then it involves several old friends that you've hunted with over the years. I noticed Phil Lyons in there a few times, and Ron Colbert.
Ron Colbert
And Bruce Brady. I'm jealous because you got to know Mr. Bruce better than I did, because he was always one of my heroes. But there's so much good things in here, and it starts basically from the time that when you were
I was
first
a
calling.
kid. Yeah. From the time I was about 10, and goes up to till this year,
Till this
because
year.
we put this book out in about 3 months. There is it's all about calling. So there is the first part of the book. I have several chapters about calling turkeys, even though I don't profess to be a great turkey caller. I was a pretty good turkey hunter, and I had some really good mentors.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
no
did.
one was better than Bruce, and of course I've been able to hunt with Ronnie Strickland.
Oh,
and
absolutely. Ronnie's in there too. That's right. Yes.
And we were just blessed to hunt with those guys. And they were just dear friends, and they were character people. Those Bruce
Yes.
was like a dad to me.
Yes.
He taught me a lot about hunting, but he taught me a lot about life. And anyway, so that's in there. And then there's a section we do it. For years we did a lot of horn rattling, and I know you do and love it. And so where there's several stories about calling deer, and then of course we get into the meat of it, and that's the predator stuff.
And then you kind of end it to where modern day with the new call that you have out called the Rogue.
The Rogue.
And we want to get into that into a little bit different in a separate segment of this. But basically, it's taking predator calling literally to a new height.
Yes, it is.
It's one way of saying it, I think.
Yeah, it is. And it's something that I wanted to do for a long time, but we did not have the technology to do it until now. And it's been quite a challenge, but we'll have that product on the market this fall. Of course, we've been using them for nearly a year.
Right.
The prototype.
Tell people how the best way to get the book.
The best way to get the book is just to go on Burnham Brothers' site, which is www.burnhambrothers.com. BURNHAM Brothers spelled out, and that should do it.
Perfect. If you're going to buy one book this year, this is the one that you want right there. I'm going to try to hold it to where you can see the cover, but get in touch with burnhambrothers.com, and you'll be glad you did. This is a book about predator hunting, but it goes far beyond that, and photography is second to none. Gary, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, friends, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us on this week's show. Gosh, guys, we have so much fun doing this stuff, don't you think? I mean,
I know.
This is out of this world fun.
Oh.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate and how honored I truly am to be with you guys.
Well-
and all those folks out there too.
absolutely. We want to thank you folks for joining us each week. We have fun bringing this stuff to you, and we certainly appreciate you joining us, liking us, sharing us, and joining us for another adventure. We'll have another exciting adventure next week, so stay tuned, and until then, be safe in the outdoors. And a special thanks to Air Force Air Guns, Dallas Safari Club, Hornaday, Pyramid Air, Nielsen Specialty Ammo, Sightmark, Smoke and Tex, and Striper Express.